most recent decision that has been announced about the withdrawal of 2000 rupee currency notes from the system, and there obviously it's going to pan out over the next 4 months. It's a significant sum of money, 3.62 lakh crore. Uh, does that also impact deposits? Are banks like yours and others, in fact, in the Indian banking system, going to be flush with that much amount of money very soon?
I would like to mention that, almost about 63 to 64% of the GDP is now being supported either by UPI or currency. So UPI is actually contributing almost about 50-51% of the GDP of the economy. The remaining about 13% is essentially the currency. And currency also for last almost about 5 to 7 years have remained almost static. So when it comes to 2000 rupees currency note, this was introduced in the year 2016, end of 2016, and the intention was to quick remonetization of the Indian economy. So I think at the material point of time, 2000 rupees currency note was constituting almost 50% of the currency in circulation, which has actually now come down to just about 11%, 10.8 or 11%. So that very clearly means that when it comes to currency, which has got two functions to perform, one is store of value and the other is medium of exchange. So
Hmm.
as a store of value, perhaps it may still have some validity, but as a medium of exchange, that has been picked up by the UPI. So that is something which is a reality of the Indian economy today. So at that stage, when the RBI has so decided to withdraw 2000 rupees from circulation, they very clearly mentioned that 2000 rupee note continues to be a legal tender. And they have also created a facilitation in terms of making the exchange of 2000 rupees currency note from either of the RBI offices across the country or from the banks who are operating in the country. So this is essentially to facilitate exchange of 2000 rupee note into the other denomination. So that is how it is really having an impact on the economy.
The real point that I want you to explain to our viewers, it's clear that you anyone with any amount of 2000 rupee notes can deposit them in one go. The exchange has been limited to 20,000 rupees at a time. Now, it's not very clear whether that at a time is per day, or can a person queue up again and again at the same branch or go to a different branch for exchange. I know it is a little early. The implementation is going to start on the 23rd. What can you tell our viewers about how this process will pan out, and what will SBI, as the largest bank, do in this regard?
We are also in the process of forming up our stance in terms of what should be uh, what we should interpret out of in one instance. So we are also seeking the viewpoint of of the regulator also in this matter. So once we have a clarity, maybe today, tomorrow, then we will be accordingly will be practicing it on ground too.
Uh, but there are obviously going to be no concerns around shortages of the 500 rupee denomination note, Mr. Khara.
No, I don't think so because as I mentioned that significant part of the transactions are now being handled by UPI. So whatever currency is there, yes, of course, some augmentation will perhaps be required, but I think to a greater extent, the currency need for exchange that will get addressed through the UPI mechanism, and of course, people who hold some currency as a store of value, for them they might be looking for the alternate options, which could be the currency in the other denomination too. Because as I mentioned that even now from 2019, this 2000 rupees currency note printing was stopped, and gradually the proportion of the 2000 rupees currency note in the total currency was coming down, and it has come to a level of from somewhere around 50% in about 16 17 to it has come to a level of about just about 11%. So that very clearly means that there is going to be it's going to be a digital economy, and physical cash may start losing its relevance at a point of time.
Mr. Khara, is the 500 rupees note going to be the highest denomination in a digital banking economy like India, or do you think there might be a need for a higher denomination, perhaps a return of the 1,000 rupee note at some point in time?
I think maybe we'll have to wait and watch to gauge the ultimate reaction from the customers. And once we have a some kind of picture, I'm sure RBI will be responsive enough uh, to meet the expectation and the requirement of the economy.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share, and subscribe.